Right now, refugees from Ukraine, Sudan, and beyond face impossible choices. Pack winter coats or pack more food. Carry extra clothes or carry more water. Take another blanket or take more diapers. These aren't abstract choices. They're decisions families are making at this very moment. UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, is there, bringing shelter, protection, and food to families whose lives were turned upside down. Your donation will reach a refugee family within 72 hours. Go to unrefugees.org/donation to make your gift.
You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I am very happy to be here, although I will say there is a small part of me that is jealous of my good friend Brock for being homesick. Not because it's like, oh, he doesn't have to go to work. We have a great job. I love coming into work. I love doing this job. When I'm homesick, I don't have as much fun because you're sick. But I think that there is one upside to being sick, and it's a great excuse to just be fully feral. Like, I was talking to Brock yesterday to see how he was doing, and he told me that he just took on Monday night 2 Neocitrin and just called it a day. Checked out of planet Earth for 12 consecutive hours and had a wild ride while doing it. And you can't just do that on a Monday. Like, if you're not sick, you can't just be like, you know what might be a fun way to spend the rest of the day today is just going into a hallucinogenic coma. Same with like when you wake up on a sick day and you just throw on some trash daytime TV, make yourself a bowl of soup, and rot in your PJs on the couch for the remainder of the day. Like, again, I'm not saying that being sick is the best. It's not fun. I think 99% of people would rather be healthy than sick. But as an every now and again thing, to just go feral and let your inner sloth and goblin meet up and hang out for the day, there is a small part of me that is jealous of my good friend Brock.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Can you tell a lot about a person by a meal that they order if you were to go out to a restaurant? A clip is going viral of a young lady who is anti-meat, to say the least, very veggie, very vegan, who has decided that she has some thoughts if you're the kind of person that eats meat. Have a listen to this.
I personally think that if you can't reduce your meat intake, then you are selfish. Like, what do you mean you can't just have a veggie burger once in a while? It's like, meat isn't that good for you. I had a bacon sandwich this morning.
Okay, hang on. We're going to pause it because, again, you are coming out of the gate very hot. Very, I am vegan, I am veggie. If you eat meat, you're a bad person. I ate a bacon sandwich the other day. Right away, the credibility of the entire argument is thrown into question.
And I haven't had bacon for like 7 years, but now I'm addicted again.
See, and again, I gave up meat because I have my principles, but then someone, I don't know what, snuck bacon into your Caesar salad, and you were like, oh, hang on a minute. There might be something to this.
But I still feel so guilty. But I do think there is a correlation between attitudes of meat and women and the environment and empathy and just what kind of person you are.
It's such an interesting argument, though. The idea that if you eat meat and you are just not willing to consider things like tofu or veggie alternatives, you know, the Beyond Meats, the bean burgers, that sort of thing, that it says something about who you are as a person, that it says like you might not care about the environment. And okay, I can see the argument to be made there because the meat industry does have an impact on the environment, so to speak. The idea that if you eat meat, you hate women, though, is a little bit, now I feel like we're stretching. I feel like you had a sliver of an argument and then you threw a bacon sandwich in there and it's all gone sideways. But again, everybody has their own thoughts, their own choices, their own feelings. So for this young lady, you know, she would go on to say, like, if she was on a date with somebody and they ordered, say, an all-meat pizza, that she would probably be like, well, this isn't going to work out. I just don't feel like we're compatible. I don't feel like we're the right fit for each other. And it got me thinking, it's like, is that a thing that people think? Like, when I would go on dates when I was a younger man, I never stopped to think like, oh man, she's ordering spaghetti. oh, gross. This is going to be awful. I'm not going to have any fun at all. Is there a food that could be such a turnoff that someone could order it and you'd be like, well, we tried and this is not going to work out? Like, the only thing that I can think of is if somebody ordered some sort of a noodle-based dish and spent the entire first date slurping it up. We're probably not compatible, because at some point, if we were to fall in love and get into a relationship and you continue to slurp noodles, I'm going to yell at you, and nobody wants that to happen. So just, all right, Slurpee, you go your way and I'll go mine.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Chris, what's the food that somebody could order and eat on a first date that might make you think this isn't going to work out?
Sushi, raw fish, and especially the way they make it here, it looks like maggots all rolled up, too.
Well, Chris, unfortunately, it's not going to work out between the two of us, brother. I love some sushi.
Yeah, not me. I don't mind the kipper snacks and oysters and lobster, but no, I almost puked.
You know, but I feel like there's probably people out there that hear you say that you would have oysters and they go, oh, gross.
That's like my daughter, Kayla. She loves sushi and she doesn't like oysters. Like, what the heck's wrong with you, woman?
Sometimes the apple does fall far from the tree, brother.
I hear you, and it's rotten when it gets to the bottom because it's sushi.
Kayla, if you're listening, I'm sure your dad didn't mean to call you rotten. It just happened. Now, this all started because we heard a clip from a lady that was saying, like, if you eat meat, if you can't convince yourself to eat a little more veggie, maybe some tofu, that you're probably going to be a very difficult partner. It's probably not going to work out. I asked if there's any kind of food that would be a turnoff, and a lot of people did text in that tofu is, in fact, a turnoff. I would love for someone to teach me how to cook tofu. I've tried. I want to be healthier. It's disgusting. Tim, Jets fan Tim, says if she orders liver and onions, that's going to be a problem. What are you, 90 years old? Also seeing a lot of texts. And fellas, maybe take this one to heart. Seeing a lot of lady friends of the show texting in. If he orders ribs and proceeds to eat them like a 6-year-old, I'm probably not going to ask for a second date. And I get that. There are some people out there who, when they eat meat, especially meat on a bone, they become full carnivore. They dive in with their hands and their teeth. And some people like that. For some people, that would actually be a turn on. But for a lot of people, and especially when you phrase it like when they eat like a 6-year-old, if you look across the table and you feel that parental urge, especially the maternal urge, to reach over and wipe their face with a napkin, that's probably not a great foundation for the beginning of a relationship. I'm not telling anybody what to do or how to live their life. I'm just saying, if it's date one and you're into the spaghetti or you're into the ribs, maybe just wipe your own face before it becomes a problem.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I'm never sure if you're supposed to congratulate someone for bad news, but in this situation, it does feel kind of apt to congratulate the Sarnia Legionnaires Junior B hockey team on the perfect season. Now, that's not to say that they didn't lose a game. As a matter of fact, it's the exact opposite. They went 0-50 for the season, losing. We had talked about them about a week and change ago, about how they were 3 games away. They were 0-47 at the time. They did, in fact, lose those last 3 games and go on to have the winless season. And I know it's got to be devastating. I mean, it's Junior B. These are kids playing hockey. So we're not going to make fun of them or give them a hard time, because those kids are already going through it. This is going to be something they'll never forget for the rest of their lives. It will haunt them every time they step onto the ice. But I would like to offer maybe a silver lining idea. No one's going to forget about this team. No one's going to forget in Ontario Junior B hockey about the Sarnia Legionnaires. They just became a trivia question. Throughout Canada, people will talk about the Junior B hockey team that lost 50 consecutive games to go 0-50 for the season. And my silver lining is this, is that if you're going to be bad at something, be good at being bad. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you got to do something and you're not doing great at it, but you can't just quit, you can't just stop doing it, then lean into it the other way. Be bad at something. I mean, even just look at this show. Brock sings all the time. Brock be the first one to tell you, man's not a songbird. But he leaned into it, and we started going from people texting in, telling him to never sing again, to people texting in, getting mad at me because he's not here to sing. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to be bad at something, you can be good at being bad. You can be so good at being bad that it becomes endearing. And if you don't believe me, I got 2 words for you. William Hung, the guy who went on American Idol and was so bad, again, at singing, that seems to be my example here, that he made a record career out of it. He still makes appearances and shows up at conventions and other events to sing poorly, and people clap like trained seals at the opportunity to have to sit through it. So if you're a Sarnia Junior B hockey player that somehow stumbled across this show or maybe the podcast, I'm sorry that the last 50 hockey games did not go your way. But you can kind of hold your head up high knowing you are the best at being the worst.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I am 42 years old, which means I am not always up on the new slang. 7 new emojis will be hitting phones later on this year. It's still weird to me that this has become like an annual rollout, like the NHL schedule or the new Call of Duty. New emojis seem to drop this time every year, but still, I want to run through the 7 that are coming and see if I can figure out what these new emojis will be used for, starting with landslide, which if you haven't seen, landslide is like this mountain with rocks falling down the side, which I assume will be a great way for you to be able to tell your friends and your family that you are really falling apart. Like you are mentally and emotionally crumbling, but like in a fun, less depressing way to send a cry for help. There's the distorted face, which is kind of like it's like a fisheye kind of thing. It's just a smiley face that looks like it was like overinflated. You send that one to your partner to let them know that you ate tacos and it will not be safe under the covers tonight when you go to bed. Fight cloud is that like classic cartoon cloud. This one is easy. Guys send it to the boys only group chat to signify that they told their partner that they were starting to behave like their mother, and now it's a war zone and you won't be coming out tonight or probably anytime soon. There's an orca, like the whale, and orca is probably my favorite because finally we're going to have a quick and easy way of saying, let's go out and sink a billionaire's yacht when you're making plans with your friends. Trombone is also an easy one. If someone's texting you about how hard their life is, about how difficult things are getting, you just send them back the old wah, 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 wah. And then there's the Bigfoot. That's the one you use to describe that one friend that never comes out anymore, blows off all the group plans. And finally, there's a treasure chest, which you use to signify that you found something really rare and valuable, like a parking spot at Costco that's not 6 miles away from the door. That is the perfect time to use the treasure chest emoji. So these will be coming to your phone later on this year. And if you want to be hip and cool, you have to learn how to use them. Or, like most of us, you could just use words because you're a grown-up and not an Egyptian painting on the side of a wall.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is Brock and Dalby's $15,000 big bag of cash.
Will you keep what you got or take another shot?
All right, this is exciting because we have given away over $1,000 already in our first 2 rounds of the big bag of cash. Today, we are going to be talking to Charlene, who is our contestant and is sitting on the line. Charlene texted in bag. The robots have chosen her. Charlene, welcome to the program. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. Yourself?
I'm doing good because I get paid the same no matter how this game goes. You, on the other hand, could make a bunch of money, could make not a lot of money. We're going to find out in just a second here. How are you feeling in terms of nerves?
I'm nervous.
Do you have a strategy? Like, is there a number that you have in your head or a number of vaults that you have that you want to open before you pack it in?
Not really, no.
We're just going to play it by ear, right?
Exactly.
Okay, just for anybody that doesn't understand the game, Charlene, I know you do, we're going to open the first vault. It's going to have money in it. Charlene will then be faced with the decision to either take that money and quit the game or open another vault hoping for more money. We'll continue that way until either Charlene quits and takes the money or opens the empty vault and gets nothing. Charlene, are you ready for vault number 1?
I am.
All right, here is vault number 1.
$225.
$225 is the first amount of money that's being offered to you. Charlene, will you take $225 or do you want to open vault number 2?
I'm going to take vault number 2.
Oh, I thought you were about to say you were going to take the money. I'm like, Charlene, it's vault 1. Okay. All right. Charlene, here is vault number 2.
$375.
$375 in vault number 2.
Woo!
That's a jump. $375, nothing to shake a stick at, but I have to ask you the question again. Do we want to take $375 or do we want to see what's in vault number 3?
Ooh, vault 3.
We're going vault 3. All right, here we go. Vault number 3. No!
Oh,
Oh, Charlene, I'm so sorry.
it's okay.
Oh, we all knew that somebody was eventually going to open the empty vault, but I wasn't ready for it to happen to you. You seem so nice.
Oh, thank you.
Well, Charlene, I wish I had literally anything else to say, but unfortunately today you're walking away with nothing at all.
Oh, that's all right.
Why?
I can try again.
You can. You absolutely are welcome to play the game again. And you've got a much better attitude than I would have. Because if I was in your place and you were in my place, we wouldn't still be talking because I would have thrown my phone at the wall. All right,
well, you win some, you lose some, right?
In this case, you lost about 375 of them. But that's neither here. I'm not trying to rub it in. I'm sorry. That was me. Charlene, thank you for playing.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we'll let Charlene go. And like I said, we all knew this moment was coming. We knew that somebody was going to open one too many vaults. But it still sucks to have happen. Oh, no. Well, the good news is, like Charlene said, there's always tomorrow.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Let's start by talking about what might be the most boneheaded way to lose roughly $5.5 million, because that's something that happened to South Korea's National Tax Service. Basically, think of the South Korean version of the CRA. They went after tax evaders who owed a bunch of money and ended up seizing 8.6 billion won, their currency, or roughly 5.6 million US dollars worth of cryptocurrency that was being held by these people who had decided they didn't want to pay their taxes. They then wanted to brag about this because that's a big get for the National Tax Service. They caught the bad guys and they got a bunch of money that they were owed. Problem is they posted a picture, not unlike what you would see North American police agencies do when they track down a bunch of guns or drugs or whatever, of like, look at all the stuff that we got from all the people that we raided. It included the passwords and all that you would need to hack in to those crypto accounts. All the money was stolen. Every single dime of the $5.6 million worth of cryptocurrency was stolen. The only problem is for the people who stole it is that because this is now news and it's such a large amount, it's going to take them some time to liquidate it. But also because it's cryptocurrency, there's not a lot the authorities can do other than the old Homer Simpson dough for kicking away $5.6 million in the most boomer way possible by posting your password on the internet. No word on what's going to happen to the people in their social media department. Someone's got to get punished for this. I just don't know what that punishment could be.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
There are some great stories coming out of the World Baseball Classic right now in terms of upsets and underdogs. The biggest one is probably the fact that just yesterday, Team Italy beat Team USA, which, as you know, if you listen to this show, if you're a friend of the show, when the U.S. loses at sports, we all win. We're all happy. Today, we are all Team Italia. But they beat Team USA. And I crunched the numbers on this. I did the math. And the difference in the payroll, because obviously Team USA going to have a massive glut of Major League Baseball players. If you added up all their MLB payrolls for this coming season, it's $383 million. Now contrast that with Team Italy, who just beat them yesterday. They're only at $65 million. Like, the gap is massive. And it just goes to show that you can put all the money in the world into something, into building something. If it doesn't have the heart and soul, it's not going to win. Now, don't get me wrong. Team USA is still very likely going to the playoffs and is still a serious threat to win the whole tournament. But what a great story to watch Team Italy and their little cappuccino machine in the dugout come out and walk the dog with the superpower that is Team USA. And if that's not enough for you, there's also another great story from Team Czechia, the Czech Republic team, with Andrej Satoria, a pitcher who a few years ago in the WBC went viral for striking out Shohei Ohtani, who's considered to be the best batter in baseball, one of the highest paid players in sports. He struck him out at the WBC while Ohtani was playing for Team Japan. While this year, Satoria just put up 4.5 shutout innings once again against Team Japan. And it was so cool to watch because the dude is an electrician. Like, this guy is not finishing up his time at this tournament and then going to Major League Baseball spring training. He's a full-time electrician in the Czech Republic, and he announced that after that game, he's retiring from pro baseball so that he can focus more on his day job and also hang out with his daughter. Sports are just these billion-billion-dollar industries, and it's easy to get lost in, like, all these players and their multi-year contracts and mega deals and all these things. But every now and again, sports reminds you that at the core of what makes it so cool to watch is just regular people doing incredible things. Like a full-time electrician putting up 4 scoreless innings in the biggest baseball tournament of the year, or a group of dudes from Italy who make not nearly as much money bringing down a baseball superpower. And that's why it's impossible not to be romantic about sports.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
A little town in Texas is having a mayoral race. The incumbent mayor, Jack McCarty, was actually going to be running unopposed in North Richland Hills in Texas, a suburb of Fort Worth. But somebody has decided that they don't want Jack to just get it for free, so they're running against him, and that person's name is literally anybody else. Seriously, a man who used to be formerly known as Dustin Ebby legally changed his name to literally anybody else 2 years ago and ran for president, so that for no other reason, the ballot would have shown Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, and literally anybody else. Now, obviously, he did not win the presidential election, and he's also saying he's not really trying to win the mayoral election. He's just giving people the opportunity to speak out with their votes by, instead of choosing Jack McCarty, choosing literally anybody else. You have to respect somebody with that kind of commitment to the bid.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Would you rather Wednesday? Would you rather Wednesday?
Would You Rather Wednesday, where you pose questions A versus B, 1 versus 2, give us some options, and we debate them as to which one would be better, or sometimes which one would just be less worse. And today, I'm starting with this one here. It comes in and says, would you rather be woken up with a wet willy or a Dutch oven? Now, I have to say, I don't actually think that I would wake up to a Dutch oven. If someone did that, covered my head, did the gas in the blanket, I think I'm a heavy enough sleeper that if it woke me up, it would actually be some sort of crisis, and I would need to be evacuated from the room, as well as all other living creatures in the area. Whereas if you get your finger wet, whether via tap or glass of water or in your mouth, and put it in my ear canal, It actually doesn't matter if I'm asleep or if I'm awake or if I'm dead for 6 years. I'll fight you. We are fighting. That is maybe the worst thing in my estimation that someone can do to you. It is so gross and so awful that no, I would absolutely much rather be woken up by some sort of toxic Dutch oven that would cause a full evacuation of wherever it is that we live. This one here says, would you rather live forever or only live for another 10 years, but you know that you're only going to live for another 10 years? And I'll say this, the idea of living forever makes sense if you don't think about it, right? Oh, I'll never die. Imagine all the things that I'll accomplish. I'll never have to worry about getting sick or any of that other stuff. But if you live forever, it literally means you will outlive every single person that you love, then fall in love with new people and outlive all of them as well. You will eventually outlive the planet that we live on and the galaxy it exists in. At some point, science predicts that if you were to live forever, you will be the only thing remaining in existence after the heat death. It's a terrible consequence. Again, if you don't think about it too hard, it sounds great. But as soon as you put some logic to living forever, it is an actual science fiction nightmare. So while it would be a bummer to be like, all right, well, I guess I got 10 years left. I know when I'm going. At least you could make the most of it and not have to worry about living in hell, essentially. And we'll do a last one here from Jalen. It says, if you were see-through, would you rather be a bony skeleton or fleshy meat? I guess the idea is if your skin was see-through, would you rather it go right down to the bones, or would you rather people be able to see almost like those anatomical models that have the different muscle parts on them? I think it would be way more fun to be just a skeleton, to just be a full-on skeleton. Imagine the money you could make at Halloween from people renting your services, the pranks that you could pull, being able to scare people. Whereas if you had like just no skin, but all your muscles and ligaments and all that stuff still visible, I just think you'd look gross, you know, like you just look disgusting. Whereas at least like you could chill with a skeleton if he was cool with you, dap him up, move on with your day. If someone walked in looking like a skinless anatomical model, people are going to start throwing up. That's just a human response.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
All right, time for another round of rock impressions. Your chance to win $100 in OLG tickets for Lotto 649. And today's rock impression, we're going to the Clash. We're going to London Calling, specifically the Howl. All right, so if you think you've got a good howl, we've asked you to send in your voice memos to 762-555. Again, we are looking for this. Or at the very least, your best approximation of it. So let's go to the text line and see what people have sent in to us. We'll start with Brad. Okay. Brad sounds like I don't even know what. That's a fantastic start from Brad. Let's go to Chris. Solid effort from Chris, like that. Let's see here. Sandra sent one in, so let's play Sandra's. Oh no. So what I think happened here, Sandra sounded like she was nailing it, but when you do these loud rock impressions, guys, you got to hold the phone a little bit further away from your mouth, because otherwise the microphone is just going to go, oh God, no, and shut down. Let's see if Christine had more luck.
Hi, this is Christine. This is my howl.
It almost sounds more rooster than howl, but it still somehow sounds honest to what we were looking for from the London Calling song.
This is Alex, and this is my howl from the Clash.
Ow, 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 ow,
Another rooster kind of sound from Alex there, but that was really good. Some good ones today. Very well done to everybody sending these in. Here's Jen.
Hi, this is Jen, and here's my impression.
That sounded painful from Jen. Let's hear it again.
And here's my impression.
Right, I like that. Another one. Not bad, not bad. No name on that one, though. And let's do one more here from Noah.
Noah.
Oh, very good. And what I like is that Noah stayed honest to the actual sound from the Clash, which starts with the one howl and then goes into the ow, 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 ow. So I'm leaning Noah, but I am open to seeing what everybody else has to say on the text line. If you didn't send in a voice memo, you are in the jury. 762-555. Do you want to go with Brad's weird sounds? Do you want to go with any of the roosters? Do you want to go with Noah? A lot of votes coming in for Noah, so congratulations. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. That's a ding and a round of applause for Noah and his London calling.
Noah.
Want to be a part of the podcast?
Leave a message on the Bad Line.
The Bad Line is the answering machine for the Brock and Dalby Show.
To get the number, text the word BAD to 762-555.
Thanks for listening to the Brock and Dalby podcast.